So I've been playing ukulele I started when I was 9 and I'm about to be 40. So for a long time. And, one interesting thing a lot of people don't realize is that the largest ukulele brand in the world was actually started here in Richmond. So so I got a job there when I was 25 and ended up getting to go and travel to Hawaii and stuff. And I'd always been a fan of, playing the ukulele and just kind of, that music, but that just allowed me to go much deeper. I wasn't a tourist. I was like getting to go and meet the musicians and the people that are just part of that community. So I was 25 when I got that job. So I don't know how they decided it was a good idea to put me in charge, but it was good. So, that company was here in Richmond until 2016. They sold and moved and I wanted to stay here. So I've been involved in like nonprofits that do work. So Jake Shimabukuro, who's very famous, like YouTube guy, does Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff like that. He and I did some nonprofit work for, quite a few years. And then we just go and we spend time there. We meet people. I've been learning how to speak Tahitian, for a number of years now. And it's very interesting, especially French Polynesia, because it's not this place that's overwhelmed with tourism. They could use a stronger economy from tourism, if anything. But it's just kind of like they're truly living in this culture in the middle of the ocean. It's a really beautiful thing. And a lot of the younger people, they feel pressure to leave. They feel like there's not much opportunity for them. They'll just, work at a hotel for their whole life. And so they end up moving away and the culture kind of goes with them, right? So when I go there, this is all music I've just played with people there. That's why I call it lagoon music. You go out on the lagoon, where the reef is, and you're just hanging out drinking beers, and this is just what you play, what you listen to, so it's very casual, it's just fun. And I think like here, we live in Virginia, it's like when we think Polynesia and Hawaii, we think, oh, I got a paper lei at some party or something, or there's a tiki bar down the street, and that just couldn't be further from the reality, of these civilizations. So, yeah. I've always wanted to stay here. I think Virginia is a really wonderful place. I grew up on the James, hanging out, like, we ate seafood all the time. We grew our own food. Like, the water was a huge part of our culture. And then I go to French Polynesia and they're like, yeah, we eat everything out of the water and we grow a bunch of our own food and we just kind of hang around the water. That's like our culture. I'm like, yeah, like that's awesome. So, it's a different setting, but it's not as alien as it would seem. For me, it's the fact that there's an audience, for all these different kinds of music, and even just for me, I moved to Richmond in 2007. So I'm just from down the river a bit, but I've lived here for quite a while now. And, guys I know that were playing in punk bands with me and noise bands and stuff like that. It's like, get to watch everyone grow up and do very interesting things, it's like go from like the rage, to like very interesting things, so that's just been a really cool thing to watch, and I think we maintain that spirit, of art and originality here. I'm going to record some music with some friends in Tahiti and, and do maybe an album or an EP there. And then, I want to go and play like ukulele festivals. Like there's a large ukulele festival here in Richmond that, it's usually 400, 500 people. I mean, it's a pretty big thing.
What is that?
It's called Virginia Ukapalooza. But it's like ukulele players, And so I want to start playing things like that because it's like, hey guys, like let's go really deep into where this instrument is from, and not just all play kind of corny covers and stuff like that, So that's something I want to focus on for sure. And then I've ran a record label for a long time, so I'm working on starting to reissue some classic like Polynesian records and stuff. Yeah. So I'm just at Lagoon Music on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I make a lot of like very kind of silly videos where I'm just like overdubbing myself and stuff like that, but like playing these songs. And then I go there and when I meet and play with people, I record that. So there's a bunch of, if you want to see kind of what this really looks like and really sounds like, Lagoon Music on Instagram would be the place to find it. We're actually about to go to Tahiti for like a month and we're just going to play a bunch of music and, figure out an album and stuff like that, what that's going to look like. So that's next for me. So yeah, for sure.